We tend to set goals based on how we think we'll feel when we get there. In a way, we're not just chasing a goal, we're chasing how we think the goal will make us feel. The good news is that change and liberation are always right around the corner if you want them to be. So here's 3 ways to get unstuck. I'm AshleyStahl, career expert, host of the U-Turn podcast, and author of the best-selling book also named U-Turn: Get Unstuck, Discover Your Direction, and Design Your Dream Career. My mission in the world is to help you create a career that really lights you up. And as a career coach, I've heard from thousands of individuals all over the world who feel trapped in their jobs. I've seen people who do all the right things. They put in the hard work, they finish their degree, and boom, they land what they thought was their dream job. And yet when they get there, something feels truly off. So you're probably wondering, why does this happen? After we put in the time to reach the goal or the feeling, it can be devastating to realize that it doesn't feel the way we thought it would. When you're stuck in a career rut, remember, more often than not, the only thing that's really stuck is your thinking. You can fix your situation, and it doesn't have to mean that you need to find an entirely different career path. As I say often in my book, U-Turn, sometimes you're just a couple millimeters off. Sometimes you just need to make a really small change for a really big gain. Number 1, reconnect to yourself. When people tell me they need clarity, the first thing I think to myself is, you don't really need clarity. You actually just need to reconnect to yourself. When you're connected with yourself, it becomes really easy to notice and feel what feels right for you. And when you're connected to yourself, you tend to know what your likes and interests are. From there, your next career move tends to become a little more straightforward. That's why if your career has begun to feel flat and you're feeling a bit disconnected, the first order of business is to find yourself again. This starts with asking yourself what really inspires you and makes you feel alive. Essentially, what makes you feel more like you. You probably have some idea on what amps you up and makes you excited to live life, and if you're anything like me, it could be dance classes or writing or poetry or jogging or anything in between. Make a list of activities you do, people you talk to, or even places that you go that feel really good and expansive to you. While I have a handful of really close friends, there's a couple that I especially feel myself around. Those are the ones I make time for even more so when I feel off or disconnected. By spending time in the places I love with the people I love, or doing things that I love, I start to expand and feel like myself again. And it's from that place that it gets easier to notice what's a yes for me and what's a no for me. Part of this means you stop listening to the noise around you about who you should be. When you reconnect to yourself, you can start tuning in to what makes you feel great and who you truly are. Number 2, build a support system. There's 3 different types of mentors I recommend clients in my courses try at any given time: a sponsor, a free mentor, and a paid mentor. Now you might be asking yourself, what the heck is a sponsor? There's a big difference between a mentor and a sponsor. Mentors serve as a huge source of inspiration, and they tend to be someone who has been there and done that, kind of the wise owl who cares about your legacy and their own impact. On the other hand, it's a sponsor who tends to be someone within your company now who goes out of their way to take a stand for your growth and put your name forward for opportunities. Mentors expect little in return, while sponsors put themselves right on the line for you and support you at work. Sponsors truly believe in you, they see your potential, and they are game changers in the workplace. If you don't have someone like this in your job, I have a little assignment for you, and it's to use your lunch breaks as an opportunity to do lunch networking meetings with your colleagues. If you're remote, ask if they want to do a Zoom lunch date and start getting to know people at work, both those on your team and those who are on other teams. This sort of networking will allow you to organically meet your sponsor. And then of course, there's a paid mentor like me who gets hired to provide a specific result and support you in coming up with an immediate action plan towards your goals. According to research, the number 1 factor in getting results when you have a goal is the choice to actually invest money in your goal. If you have a goal in your heart that feels like a stretch, like perhaps you want to start a side hustle, I can't recommend enough that you find a paid mentor who has a track record and zone of genius in an area you're looking to excel. Number 3, have more conversations. Whenever I wake up and feel uninspired by my business, I always see that as an indicator that it's time to have more conversations. Conversations, they are are truly the magic and the catalyst for your career, especially when you seek out new people to have them with. In fact, science actually shows that when you talk with other people, your brain will function better and enable you to see more clearly. Plus, studies estimate that upwards of 85% of open positions are filled through networking. So if you're applying for jobs online right now, you're honestly picking from the bottom of the barrel, aka the jobs that somehow did not get filled through networking. Plus, it's just common sense. If you want to get somewhere new, you have to do something new or talk to someone new. Newness begets newness. Being in a rut can put you into a headspace where all you want to do after work is throw on some sweatpants, put on Netflix, and relish in your solitude. And hey, sometimes that is totally the answer. And yet you don't want to indulge so much in your little brain break that it turns into a total rut. And if you do find that your rut is so deep that you need to change jobs or careers completely, not to worry, you're not alone. Studies reveal that the average person will change jobs up to 10 times before the age of 42 and expects to change careers altogether 6 to 8 more times before retirement. Your purpose moves. Who you are changes. Give yourself the space to be in between purposes. Let yourself explore and sit with information. The worst thing that you could do is just grab on to something else that you don't really want. It's not that you have to be in fear or analysis paralysis, but give yourself the dignity of being in a process. As I say in my book, U-Turn, your career is simply an experiment that should meet you where you are. Subscribe to this video below. I would love to hear from you in the comments, and I'll see you next week.